Welcome to Magic Arcanum. I'm Ryan Gomez, and I'm so glad you're here because it's story time. Today's story is going to be unlike anything we've done yet so far on Magic Arcanum, and it's going to be a bit of a challenge, so I hope you all enjoy it. Now, as I've mentioned before on the show, I've been playing Magic the Gathering for over 20 years, and in that time, I have taught dozens and dozens of people how to play the game as well. One of the biggest hurdles when teaching the game to a new player is getting them over the initial belief that the game is not for them. Geek culture has made terrific strides in the past 20 years. Superhero movies are major summer events, zombies are everywhere, and even fantastical magic has become a regular household bedtime occurrence thanks to The Boy Who Lived. But there's one franchise that I think has done more to make dragons and sword fighting and even spell casting appeal to the mainstream, and the final season is about to premiere. Now here's where this gets challenging. I've been told I cannot say the name of this show, but you are a smart audience. So if I tell you this is the one where the cold weather season is inbound, you know what I'm talking about, right? All right, so from now on, I'm just gonna say the show, and you all know that I'm talking about the show. Yeah. I am a big fan of the show myself, and every time I watch an episode or pick up one of the books, I'd find myself thinking, hey, there is a magic card that does that. So I realized I could use the popularity of this series to bring more people into the best trading card game ever made. We call it Plane of Thrones, and it's the first Clash case available from TCGplayer. The cards in this box were carefully chosen to be easy to learn how to play with, like you might find in a core set, but also have a lot of flavor and deep gameplay that makes you feel like you are living out the events of an episode of the show. For example, in here you will find the card Murder, which is a pretty regular occurrence in the show and easy enough for even a new player to understand. But you won't find Doomblade because that's a little bit too magic specific. We applied that logic to the whole kit and found over 150 cards that together create one of the most fun and thematic ways of playing Magic I've seen in over 20 years. And the best part is the whole thing is a battle box, which makes it even easier to sit down and play with a new friend because you don't even have to worry about making your decks. Let me show you how it all works. Inside the Plane of Thrones Clash case, you'll find 20 lands. That's 10 for each player, so give those out first. The remaining 150 cards make up the gameplay deck. You're gonna shuffle the whole thing and then split it in half, giving each player 75 cards. Your deck will have cards of all 5 colors in it, but it won't have any lands. Instead, you'll pick one each turn to play from your separate stack of 10. So in theory, you'll have perfect mana to cast everything that you draw, but to make it interesting, 5 of your lands are basics, and the other 5 are lands that come into play tapped. In homage to the show, we've set you up with Cold Snap dual lands here because the snow flavor is a great reminder that winter is coming. I hope that's okay to say. Anyway, managing your resources is going to be a real test because you're going to be drawing cards of all colors and some are going to be double color casting costs. So you'll have to decide if you want to prioritize your basics and start off with smaller aggressive strategy or play your tapped lands first so that you have more options as you reach 3 and 4 mana. Your opponent, meanwhile, will be making similar choices as they decide how best to rally their forces and challenge you for control of the Plane of Thrones. The rest of the game works just like regular Magic. You both start with 20 life, draw 1 card per turn, but your opening hand is only 4 cards because you've got that stack of lands available to you right from the very start. You can find the full rules for Battle Box Magic in the description beneath this video, but before you go check that out, let's take a closer look at some of the cards you'll find inside this Clash case. Each of the 5 colors represents key characters, locations, or events from the show. White is the color of the great houses. It has knights and soldiers aplenty, and it has the most instant cards out of any color, so you can surprise your opponents with an army out of nowhere. Let that be a stark reminder to them that you'll always pay your debts. I think we're still safe. Timely reinforcements will get you out of a sticky situation. Loyal Sentry will keep you protected until his watch is ended. You can make your opponent's army kneel to your imposing sovereign, and Apron Tactician reminds you that it's all a game and you shouldn't get too attached to the pieces. Look at the hands on this guy. They are so small. He must have little fingers. Unite enough houses and you can rally them under the banner of the Paragon of New Dawns. Then give a demotion to your opponent's best creature, their Kingslayer, perhaps, and then charge in for victory. Or perhaps you'll draw more blue cards. These represent the Seafaring House specifically, but also your loyal advisors and the birds that they use to deliver messages all across the land. The Wall of Frost might be the most recognizable landmark in the show, but you can get right over it with Mist Ravens, Sage Owls, and even a murder of crows. You can also use your pirates like Daring Saboteur and Shipwreck Looter to make sure your opponent pays the iron price. Man, it's funny what they let me get away with. Courtly Provocateur can force the enemy to fight on your terms, and Sea God's Revenge can sweep away blockers and make it easy for your raiders to take the throne. The zombies found in black should definitely catch your attention. You don't want to ignore them for too long or they might grow into a threat too big to handle without help, especially once Lord of the Accursed hits the table. Gravecrawler and Butcher Ghoul are recurring threats that will need very specific weapons to deal with, and Murder, Stab Wound, and Public Execution remind you of some of the most horrific parts of the show. Will your favorite character survive being disfigured? Will your little lordlings walk again after taking a tragic slip? The night is dark and full of terrors, and you might be next to join the gruesome menagerie. For players looking to break the wheel and rise above these horrors, hold on to your red cards. Pillar of Flame and Annihilating Fire are great ways to keep the zombies off your back for good, while you hatch your dragon egg and grow it into a cute little whelp. There are plenty of aggressive red creatures in here too, ready to dash into battle and draw blood for their queen. Borderland Marauder and Stormblood Berserker are ready to get in there while you roast your opponent's front line and bathe them in dragonfire. The green cards in your deck will call forth the Children of the Forest, the Wildlings, and other creatures of nature that might help turn the tide of battle in your favor. Wolves are known for their loyalty and their fighting ability, and you'll find no shortage of them here. This one certainly won't ghost you. Ha ha! The Druids of the North can make your armies stronger, like with Trusted Force Mage, or they can help you find what you need, maybe by doing a commune with the gods, or by interpreting the signs in nature's spiral. Your deck will also provide you with weapons of war that you'll definitely need as you battle your way across the Plane of Thrones. Swords and axes are one way to get the job done, but if you're looking for a more subtle approach, try a Briber's Purse or a Vial of Poison. Still not your speed? Well, find out if your opponent can hold the cellar door while your zombies threaten to break through and bolster your ranks. And if that's not enough, just blow them all up with an explosive apparatus. The box is packed with awesome cards that put you right in the action, and they're easy to understand. There's no arcane magical spells. It's just knights and dragons and ice and fire. And if that's not enough, every Plane of Thrones Clash case comes pre-sleeved in Dragon Shield sleeves. This makes them even more thematic and exciting, and it makes it super easy to just shuffle up and play right out of the box. Now for the kicker. We are making an extremely limited number of these available through TCGplayer. So use the link below to learn more about how you can place your order, because there has never been a better time to bring your friends into Magic through their favorite show. Let me know in the comments how excited you are for the final season. I'm really excited. Then make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the great stories you'll only find here on Magic Arcanum. I'll see ya.